Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Ready from Rady's Rides. I'm back here at Tampa Honda, and guess what? We are going to do a little discussion of if you are looking for some reliable, inexpensive A to B transportation. Now maybe this is your first time buying a new car, ever. Maybe you have a nice collector car or a toy in the garage and you just want something to go about your business. Or maybe you just want a Honda Civic. What is the best value for you when you're looking with all those different trims and whatnot? And what we're gonna do it with is this 2020 Honda Civic LX. This is obviously a 4-door sedan. You could also get it 2-door coupe and also the hatchback. But what you're gonna find is that Honda is gonna pack a lot into a small package at a small price point. And that's the wonderful thing about the Civic, is that ever since it was created, it was all about maximizing your budget money so that you could have that reliable transportation. So let's go ahead and dive into this 2020 Civic LX. Now what you'll notice off the bat is that they did do some redesigning with the headlight design. That was something that they started in 2019. So they changed it up a little bit. I like the way it's blacked out inside. You have the projector beam style of headlight design going on. You'll also have your LED daytime running lamps. As we drop down, a little bit of shiny chrome, which kind of confuses me because this is an LX trim, it's a base trim, but I guess they wanted to just add a little bit of sprucing in there. Work your way down, flat black, a little bit of fake vent going on here, which, you know, it is a little bit of a flowing side air curtain, but the rest of this here is all fake. So I am gonna zonk that. I wish they would have just kept it flat black like on the other trim levels all the way across. Now, as we work our way across the front, flat black on the lower portion, little bit of gloss to kind of attach both sides, both corners of the car. We work our way down, you have a little bit of an also flat black lower lip spoiler just sticking out ever so slightly, but very, very clean from the front. They did really clean up this design over the last year and whatnot. Now, as we get up onto the hood, you'll see the body lines start on the front fascia and work their way onto the actual hood. Here's another interesting fact. No longer are they making Civics in England anymore. That production has been moved to Canada, and they're noticing better quality results. As we come into the side fender, you can see the nice flow to it. When we're looking at a wheel design, you are looking at a steel wheel. That's a steel wheel, and this is a hubcap. So I'm gonna zonk it even at the value price trim. I really feel like they should have at least put an actual wheel on there. But what we're looking at size-wise is gonna be this a 16-inch steel wheel underneath there with your plastic cover. I guess the good news is if you are a first-time driver, you could scratch these and crack these, and then you take them off and you put a new one on if you're hitting curbs and whatnot. So, but don't do that, because that's no fun. You know, you're gonna mess up the alignment and everything else. But what's gonna happen with this particular setup is that because you have a fatter sidewall, it's gonna give you a more comfortable ride. And the tires are gonna be a lot cheaper when you have to replace them instead of those super low profile rubber bands that they have like on the Type R. Now, as we go down the side, I do like the way they took the nice silver, put it on the mirrors. You have a little bit of chrome trim to kind of, you know, be a package deal with the little chrome trim that's on the front of the car. Color matched door handles. And then I really like the lower belt line here, how it raises up. It actually gives the side of the car some nice personality. Now, as we keep working our way towards the rear, very, very simplistic, no trunklet spoiler or anything like that. You have the very unique Civic taillight design. You could be behind one of these at night from 10 miles away, you still know it's a Civic. Like the overall look of it, the way it fits the back of the car. Now, one thing I am gonna zonk is I'm not digging this fake vent or this design. I wish they would have just done something different with the reflector and kept everything else silver. But working our way across, very clean, a little bit of chrome trim just like on the front, which is nice, and just like around the windows. Everything else though is clean, no exhaust or anything, and I think that's probably the smartest way to go instead of putting anything fake on it. But let's go ahead, pop the hood and see what's powering this Civic LX. All right guys, we got the hood popped on this 2020 Civic LX. The base motor is that 2-liter inline-4 naturally aspirated engine, 158 horsepower. It is mated to a CVT transmission, but here's the best news. The best news is you're gonna get MPGs in the city, 30 miles per gallon, on the highway, 38, and that's really, really wonderful to see. Overall, I don't mind underneath the engine compartment because there's not a bunch of plastic. It's nice to see the actual engine. Yes, there's a prop rod, but on this particular trim level, I'm not going to zonk it. I'll zonk it on a higher trim level, like a Touring, Civic Si, or a Type R. But over here, it kind of makes sense because we're talking about that value, price, budget, reliability. And naturally aspirated Honda engines, very, very reliable. But why don't we go ahead, fire up this 2-liter and see what it sounds like. All right, guys, we're in the 2020 Civic LX. I know you're wondering, well, Joe, you're talking about being a bargain, you're talking about price. How much is this? MSRP. Now, this is MSRP. You could even get it for cheaper. Give Sam a call here at Tampa Honda. You're looking at $21,000, but really, you're getting a lot of car, especially with this one being a 4-door sedan. But let's go ahead and see what you're getting for the money materials-wise. Now, on the door panel, there is actually soft material at the top. You do have that hard cloth armrest, but you know what? You also have that in the Type R. So I'm not zonking any of it. I think it's a nice mixture of materials at this price point. Remember, compare apples to apples. Soft material on the dash, even here in the center. I like the black painted trim. This is something that is a differentiator from the LX and the other trims. Little bit of gloss black there. Everything else is flat black. Now, you are going to take a big hit infotainment system wise. It's a 5-inch screen, but you know what? If you don't need all those other doodads, save yourself the money, especially if this is just your A to B car or your first car ever. Little bit of silver trim there. Nice, easy to use AC controls. You have a cubby up here with your connectivity because just like other Civics, I love the split level design. I think that's very smart. You have all the connectivity down here and you also have more pocket space down here. This is going to be controlling that CVT transmission. You do have a sport mode that you could put it in. You have electric parking brake, that economy button, 2 cup holders, another hard cloth armrest. But remember, I'm not zonking it because this price point, you could open it up, lift it up, slide it, the cup holders slide back, and then you could even fit a super big gulp in here. That's how much space is just here. Very smartly engineered by Honda. And then the seats. I like the look. They are full cloth. That's to be expected, but I like the look. Very durable material. I even like the contrast stitching. Looks really great. And overall space in here, I'm 6 feet tall. I have plenty of headroom, and I think it's super smart that they went with a light headliner because everything else in here is fairly dark. Kind of brightens it up a little bit. But why don't you come on over behind the business end? I'll show you behind the wheel of the Civic LX. All right, guys, we're inside the 2020 Civic LX. What's great is you are going to get lane keep assist, which is really, really nice. And you're also going to get, like I said, these seats are really, really great for positioning your body. Now, the steering wheel is that hard rubber material, but it's actually not as hard as I've seen in a Corolla or other brands, which is a nice touch. Silver around the buttons. I still don't like these button controls. It's the same controls that are even in a Type R. They remind me like an old Game Boy from 1988. But dash-wise, looks great. You got that full digital display there, which looks wonderful. TFT design with your tachometer, your speedometer. You could toggle through all sorts of information there. Really, really nicely done. Bar graph, digital bar graph for coolant and fuel, and everything else very smartly placed, and it makes sense. Why don't we go ahead though, get to the back seat and see how your passengers are going to be enjoying this Honda Civic. All right, guys, backseat time of the Civic. You know what? The most surprising thing is the amount of room you have back here, even for being a compact car. Plenty of headroom. I'm not even slouching over. Plenty of leg room. I didn't even move the seats. Now, there is zero connectivity back here, but like I said, $21,000. I'm not expecting a lot of the bells and whistles. No center armrest either. You do have 2 cup holders in each pocket of the door and the same dark plastic and whatnot. But other than that, I think for this kind of value, you're getting a lot for the money. Let's go ahead and check out the trunk space and see how much room you have. All right, guys, trunk time of the Civic. I do want to show this is the key, the Honda key that you get with the LX trim. It does have buttons on the back, which is nice, and of course a nice trunk release. So you push that, opens up, and the great news is you're getting tons of space in the trunks. All the money you're saving MPG wise, having to replace tires and all that, you could store in the trunk. That's how much room there is for all that money. And then at the end of the day, you're gonna get, like I said, that great Honda reliability. But why don't we go ahead take this LX for a spin and see if it drives like a budget car or better. All right guys, we're leaving Tampa Honda. We're in the 2020 Civic LX. The best part about this car, I immediately realized driving it, it doesn't feel like a budget car. It doesn't feel like a rental car or some cheap economy car. Overall, steering wheel has a nice weight to it. Honda does such a great job with driving dynamics. And there's a really, really nice weight to the steering wheel, even without putting it into sport mode. I'm gonna put it into sport mode. What that's gonna do is it's going to change the parameters of how the car drives overall. This, of course, has a CVT, which doesn't have gears, but it does alter the parameters of that to change the driving experience. But let me go ahead and from this dead stop on throttle. So you're not gonna win any drag races. I didn't just get a trophy or anything like that, but this car is about maximizing MPGs and giving you great value. And that's the wonderful thing. You'll notice that the RPMs are being held higher because I am in sport mode. It's kind of annoying me. I'm gonna put it into regular drive mode. But turning into this right-hand bend, I'm telling you, the feedback you get in a Honda is unlike anything other at this price point. I mean, I move the wheel, there's very little play. The turn-in is very direct, and the seats feel comfortable. The one thing that's a little weird if you haven't sat in a Civic lately is you kind of feel like you're sitting a little low based off the height of the door. Of course, you could raise and lower the seat, but just something that's just a little bit different. Looking out across the windshield, is a breeze because of the way the top of the dash is. Back window's great, side mirrors are awesome, side windows are great as well. So you're definitely gonna get good visibility, even though this is a compact car. All right guys, continuing our drive here, I'm gonna get back on the loud pedal. That 2-liter, 158 horsepower. You do have simulated shifts. 0 to 60 is about 7.9 seconds in this car, but the best part is the MPGs. 30 in the city, 38 on the highway. That's pretty substantial. But the suspension is very, very compliant. You're not getting beat up over the bumps. This road is a little bit torn up and it still feels really good. So, all right guys, driving along, I think one of the things that, you know, is really nice about the Civic is the placement of all the controls. AC controls are very easy to get to. They're a little bit obviously plain Jane, but we're comparing apples to apples. This is a $21,000 car, not a $35,000 car or a $40,000 car. So you just gotta check your expectations at the right spot price point wise, and I think you're gonna be pleasantly surprised with this Civic LX. But we're gonna go into this little roundabout here, and I'm actually gonna follow it all the way around. Nice feedback, look at this. Back on throttle. With the simulated gears, the CVT isn't too bad. At highway speed, it's gonna be a little bit higher as you're accelerating for a longer period of time, but I think overall with the simulated gears, it does a good job to not feel like a CVT. I wish they would put, say, a 10-speed automatic or something here, but that obviously is gonna increase the price point of this Civic LX, and that's not what this is about. This is about getting great affordability in a reliable package that you could actually put stuff in, people and other things into your car and get from point A to point B. But hopefully this gave you a good overall feel of the Civic LX sedan. We're gonna wrap this up and get back to Tampa Honda, so I'll see you in a split second. All right guys, been another great day here at Tampa Honda. Definitely gotta thank Sam and the rest of the crew getting us access to this 2020 Civic LX bargain price value. Is it a bargain price value? I'm gonna say heck yes. You got 4 doors, usability, space, and reliability at the end of the day. There are other cars to go choose, Toyota Corolla and whatnot, but definitely you gotta look at that spec sheet and see exactly what you're getting for the money at the end of the day, especially MPGs. But if these are the types of things you wanna see on Ready to Rise, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit the subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile coming back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Ready to Rise family. If you wanna help us keep making great content just for you on the channel, click that link in the description, get yourself some Rady's Rise merch. Got to give it up to Big Guns McGee. He loves saving money because he's saving that money for his Chevelle that he's going to be getting. So if anybody has any details of a Chevelle, leave that in the comment section. He's thinking 68, 69. But anyways, put that in the comment section. Thank you, Tom, for all your hard work. And just like always, I'll see you on the next ride.